The purpose of this video is to provide you an introduction to the use of tables within Excel. I've got a spreadsheet here. It's got a pledge number, basically an ID number for people who've made pledges to the zoo. It's the donor's name, whether they're an individual or an organization, the name of the fund within the zoo that they've contributed to, what the date was, the amount that they have pledged, the amount that's actually been received, and how much is owed, if any. So that's kind of what we've got. Now when you want to create or convert a group of data into a table, you need to select just one of the cells somewhere in the contiguous range of the data. From the Insert tab, select Table. And what Excel is going to do is it's going to take a look, and it's going to take a good estimate on where the size of that table is. And Excel is usually pretty good at doing that. You see it's highlighted all the contiguous data, and it also recognizes that the first row is somehow different than all the other rows, and so it has assumed that there are headers, in which case, this case there are. So I'm going to say OK. Now this has converted this into a table. I can see that because I'm selected in the table. I now have a new contextual tabs called the Table Tools. If I select outside of the table, that contextual tab goes away. Within a table, you'll notice that we've got various filter buttons, we've got some shading and so forth. You've already seen under the Table Tools design how to change table styles. I'll go ahead and select, how about this option here? So one of the features of a table are that you can quickly get it set up from a style or formatting perspective. However, we do not recommend using tables just for formatting. So if the only thing that you're trying to do is format the data, if you do create it as a table and format it, we recommend that you convert it back to a range, because when you're working with tables or other functions that sometimes can be drawbacks of what you want to do. If you have a table and you want to convert it back to a range of data, I can say convert to range right here off of the Table Tools design. And I say yes, I want to convert it to a normal range. Now you'll notice I no longer have the Table Tools contextual tab, but it has left the formatting. In this case, I do need to be set up as a table, so I'll go ahead and leave that. One of the first things that you can do very quickly or very easily is work with these filter and sort buttons. And so let's say, for instance, I wanted to sort this by donor name. I can go ahead and select the filter button. Right there says sort A to Z. I go ahead and do that, and you can see it's sorted by donor name. And you'll notice I've got a little up arrow indicating that that field is sorted. If on the other hand I wanted to sort by date, I could say sort oldest to newest, or how about maybe reverse order, newest to oldest. And I go ahead and I select that, and now it's in date order. It is no longer in name order. So very quickly, if you need to sort by a column, these filter buttons are helpful. But sometimes there's a need to be able to sort by multiple columns at once. And to do that, you need to go to the Data tab. Now off of the Data tab, I can select the Sort. And here this allows me to specify sort order. So I could say pledge date, newest to oldest. I'll leave that. I'm then going to add a level. And I'm going to say, well, the next I want to order by organizational type. So I'll select or donor type, not organizational type, but donor type. A to Z is fine, and I'm going to add one more level, and I'll say by donor name, A to Z. I'll say OK. When I run that, it's ordered this first in date sequence, and then by donor type, and then by donor last name, and you can kind of see how that the filter buttons all indicate that there's some level of filtering, or sort. The filter buttons indicate the sort order that is in place. The next video will then explain how to use the filter capabilities within these drop-down arrows. I did want to point out, for purposes of display, sometimes it's helpful to hide the filter arrows, and you can do that off of the Data tab by selecting the filter button. They're gone. I can reselect and they're back.